Well, ahead of race 2, there's been a dramatic turnaround in the weather. Race direction did not know whether to declare this a dry or wet race, about a 5-minute delay, and it's been declared a dry race. Not only that, on the warm-up lap, Markus Schlosser, the championship leader, blew an engine, so he doesn't even take part. So his day here at Donington Park is over. From pole position then, watch as the lights go out. Todd Ellis on the right-hand side of your screen, shooting away, moving into the middle. It's Blackstock and Rosny swarming all over the back of that lot, the number 29 outfit of Kershaw and Charlwood, and they make it through into second place. Blackstock displacing Todd Ellis into Redgate on the first lap, but Tim Reeves and Kevin Russo just getting stuck in here now, making amends for that mishap, if I can call it that, in the first race, which dropped them back down the order. But they're making no mistake this time. Kershaw and Charlwood, though, an absolutely blistering start for them on the Quattro Yamaha, the distinctive red bike of the 2020 British Sidecar champion, Steve Kershaw. Runners-up in 2019 under Santander Salt colours, now running his own colour. There, 34, Sam and Adam Christie. Good result for them in race 1. Todd Ellis then, race winner in race 1, has closed up the championship dramatically, and even more so now because Markus Schlosser will not score points. He's a bystander. Tommy Philp and Tom Bryant, number 52, need to do something to play catch-up after their first race retirement with a damaged wheel arch. Scored no points at all. Blackstock and Rosny, though, very respectable, keeping it on the island, but Philp and Bryant chasing them down. Over the top into the Melbourne Loop for the first time. Ellis now in third, Blackstock fourth, Philp looking on the inside and going strongly through the sprint up to the hill. Who's got the grunt? Well, I tell you who's on the inside line, Blackstock, and he grabs it. Tommy Philp then, no way through for him, but he's shadowing Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosny as he does. There, Pekka Pavarinta, the red and white outfit, the number 44 outfit, behind the 52 outfit of Philp and Bryant. And Bryant and Philp looking very strong, that 52 bike. Youngsters here, as I've said before, very, very early on in their career. Certainly Tommy Philp, a former solo rider. But Todd Ellis now in third place. Spots of rain on the camera, as you can see. So the conditions here still undecided, but it has been declared a dry race, so there'll be no stoppage. If people want to come in and change tyres, that is their call. Ellis and Clement, that French lady passenger, then snuggled in behind the wheel arch and all the way round here up towards McLean's. Schwantz now, McLean's the right-hander before they go up and over the rise towards Coppice. Such a famous shot, we've seen it. This the move in slow-mo alongside Lewis Blackstock, Tommy Philp on the Roberts construction bike, the sponsorship emblazoned on the side, very clear to see. And Tom Bryant, leg flailing, looking ever forward. Such a good passenger, Tom Bryant, no doubt about that, as indeed is Paddy Rosny. These two, the 95 crew, having been together for many, many seasons. Tim Reeves, Kevin Russo still in front, but behind them there's a huge scrap. Kershaw fighting off Ellis, formerly teammates, not so for 2021. Then it's Blackstock, then it's Philp, then it's Pavarinta, 44, 4 times the world champion. How many times do you want me to say that? But I mean, his achievements cannot be understated. Such a quiet, unassuming, dedicated rider who takes all that travel from Finland. Goodness me, that takes some commitment, doesn't it? All the way up there in Finland to come and compete regularly in World Championship sidecar racing, where there is little or no financial reward other than personal satisfaction of becoming the FIM World Champion. Philp then, he's doing a good job. He can hold his head high, holding off the attentions of the likes of Pekka Pavarinta. How long is it going to be for? I don't know. We shall see, and I'm making an assumption there that Pekka Pavarinta will indeed stay behind Tommy Philp. There's Kershaw, 29. There's Ellis, number 6, on the Santander Salt bike. Now will do his championship standings the world of good with the absence of Markus Schlosser and Marcel Friest in this race. Down to the foggy S's. Kershaw Charlwood throwing it through. The left and then the right. That's where the passengers have to move so quickly. Looking on the inside now. Ellis coming through on the inside of Kershaw and makes it stick. He's got to stay tight here though, because Kershaw will do the drag. He'll switch sides to the right hand side. Yes, he does, but he takes a look. But Ellis has got the better of Steve Kershaw. Has he though? Kershaw looking at the inside as they come into Goddard's. It's going to be a close call. Ellis then into second place, and ahead of him, some 3 seconds up the road, Tim Reeves and Kevin Rousseau. There they are. 1, 2, 3. That's the time over the line. 3 seconds he's got to pull back. We are not yet at half distance of this race, so a long time and a long way for Todd Ellis to play his race game. Kershaw, though, in ever close attendance here, having had a disastrous start to the season. Le Mans double overheating problems. So double retirement in Le Mans. I beg your pardon, picked up a few points, a mere handful of points in Le Mans. Then in Hungaroring, those problems repeated themselves. And it was a dismal Hungaroring for Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charlwood as they saw themselves slipping backwards down the order. A good result here in this race will enhance their championship standings no end. They're there in a 16-point place at the moment. Steve Kershaw all the way down from Lauder in the Borders, and Ryan Charlwood, by contrast, based down on the south coast. Pavarinta with his Dutch lady passenger Ilse de Haas. I said previously that her father, of course, huge racing pedigree, having passengered world champion Egbert Stroyer, and such impeccable English this lady speaks. We did an interview with her in the paddock, and she is a very class act indeed. No mistakes this time for Reeves and Rousseau as they sweep down through Craner, the left then, away down towards the Old Hairpin. Very famous piece of track this, and not an easy bend, the Old Hairpin. Then up to Starkey's. Left hand of Starkey's round Schwantz, and then McLean's the right hander up the top. They're at Schwantz now, and this would pop the wheel in the chair for Todd Ellis as he changed direction from the left to the right, and indeed as Emmanuel Clement changed direction from the left to the right. Look how hard the passengers work. Ryan Charlwood with his left hand firmly on that big airbox, that big air scoop. There's a handhold cut underneath there. Very clever. These passengers sort of try out the fairing. All the fairings come, if you like, in a virgin state with no handholds cut, and it's up to the passengers to climb about all over them, find out the optimum position, get the fret saw out, or the jigsaw, whatever you want to call it, maybe even the angle grinder, and cut the slots in the fairing to suit themselves. And it's crucial. And if you look down on the right hand side of Tim's there, you will see one right down by the tarmac where the passenger goes down to the extreme level on the right hander. 10 laps then. Tim Reeves, no mistaking where he is, he's in front, but Ellis is closing, visibly closing now, not just on the timing screen, but you could almost get them in the back of an Arctic trailer. So that brings it down to about 40 feet. Kershaw and Charlwood still in third. A very nervous crow flaps away from the proceedings as they come in to the Old Hairpin. And now at Starkey's. Wonderful camera positions the Dorna people have chosen for us. Footage, of course, courtesy of Dorna. We are here with a World Superbike event. And a whole host of cameramen, TV crew, giving us the best opportunity to bring to you races 1 and 2 of the third round of the FIM Sidecar World Championship for 2021. Now we've got game on at the front. Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement have closed down Tim Reeves and Emmanuel's boyfriend, Kevin Rousseau, who is doing the business, holding down the third wheel for Tim. Now looking on the inside, it's Todd Ellis. Is there a way through? No. But you can see that's where he's going to have a go. Looked like it there. He's alongside now. Tim Reeves knows he's got a race on his hands, and coming into the 2021 season, the 7 times world champion was very generous in open conversation with us in the Santander Salt camp, and he actually said, if there's one guy out there I fear, maybe fear is too strong a word, but fear and respect, it's Todd Ellis, because Todd Ellis is at the age Tim Reeves was when he started to become dominant on the world stage. Tim now not in the twilight of his career by a long way, but has seen many, many seasons at the top level and has become the second most successful world champion to the one and only Steve Webster, MBE, with 10 world titles to his name. These 3 now have really closed up. Kershaw is much, much more in the hunt than he's been since Todd Ellis displaced him, and the fact that Todd Ellis is dicing with Tim Reeves as he is has allowed Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charlwood to close up, and they too sense not only are they in a podium position, but they could even go one better. They're waiting for something to happen at the front. And all that's happening at the front at the moment is that Tim Reeves and Kevin Rousseau on the Bonovo Action Yamaha, sponsored out of Germany. Bonovo Action, a very big bus and coach company. There Tim looking and defending, actually, having to ride a defensive race, because not only has he got Todd Ellis behind him, he's also got Steve Kershaw, and his pit board will be telling him that he has no gap at all. Is there a way through here at Redgate for Todd Ellis? No, he's going to bide his time. That is a difficult bend to pass on. You have to get in on the brakes and then do a block pass, and there's too much room there. There's an awful lot of room there for your arch rivals to have a dig. 3 outfits, all Yamaha powered, all 600cc, which is now obviously the capacity limit formula going forward, all stock engines, so super stock regs if you like. Certain special components and aftermarket parts are banned. Others with slightly less mechanical impact are indeed permitted. Todd Ellis then still looking, still stalking, and Steve Kershaw very much aware of what could easily happen here. Emmanuel Clement just had a second grab at the handhold there as Todd went over the curb. He's on the inside now of Tim Reeves. No, not this time, but what a race we've got. You can see where it's all going to happen, can't you? It's going to be the Melbourne Loop, and Tim Reeves knows it. This is an absolutely cracking race now. Any one of these 3 can pull the rabbit out of the hat. I won't mix my metaphors and say let the cat out of the bag either, but certainly the rabbit out of the hat, that's what's going to take victory here, because you have got 3 of the very best crews in the world. Rightly so. This is the FIM Sidecar World Championship for 2021, and we're being treated to top-class entertainment. A brief glimpse there further down the order. Pekka Pavarinta appears to have got his nose in front of Tommy Philp, but maybe we'll get another glimpse of that later in the proceedings, when we've got more time in the proceedings. Roger Body, having elevated the British Championship over 10 years to the level it's at today, has turned his attentions to this, the World Championship, in terms of enhanced professionalism, image, attitude, circuits, the whole package. Oh, there we have Holden Jr., 93, George Holden, and Oscar Lawrence, son of Rick Lawrence, who passengered Roger Lovelock to victory in British Championship events. Just let go, and Oscar Lawrence, brilliantly clever in hanging on there, George Holden just broke the back away, got the power on a bit too quick. Maybe the tyre is letting go a bit. Will that outfit fire up again? No, I think is the answer. Into pit lane. Oscar Lawrence is furious. Furious. The youngsters were having a good ride there. And that is such a shame for this likeable young duo. Lots more to come from them, I can tell you. Look at this though. Todd Ellis on the back of Tim Reeves. Kershaw waiting in the wings. How many times over the years have I said, like a Labrador waiting to pick up bits that fall off the table? Well, anybody who owns a Labrador will know what I mean. I've got an old retriever and he can't even be bothered to look at the table. Ellis then very, very close. It's going to be intriguing to see where he plays his hand. We know where we think he might, and that's at the bottom of the Melbourne Loop, and we are getting into the closing stages of this race now, lap after lap. They've shadowed each other round, but in fairness, the first two now have dropped Steve Kershaw just a bit. Or has Kershaw just taken 5, backed off, thought, maybe if I get too close to these two, I could get caught up in the carnage. Rather than an opportunity present itself at the foggy S's then. Reeves has to be careful here. He will hear that Yamaha of Todd Ellis behind him. He'll hear the engine, hear the changing down. Not this time. Ellis then mirroring lap after lap. Tim Reeves moves into the Melbourne hairpin. And such a famous venue Donington Park is for World Championship sidecar racing. If we go all the way back to the 80s and early 90s, I have commentated live here at Grand Prix when the World Sidecars ran with the Grand Prix long before it was MotoGP, as it's now being known for many years, when it was the Grand Prix scene and the World Championship. All classes were catered for: 500cc, 350, 250, 125, 80, in the early days even 50cc, and of course sidecars. The ubiquitous sidecars were always there in the Grand Prix paddock. We are dying for that day to return. If you're out there, Mr. Dorner, just pay attention to what you're looking at and the quality of the entertainment, the quality of the professionalism that these boys are bringing to World Superbikes here at Donington Park. Still they go round. When is that move going to happen? If indeed Tim Reeves will allow it to happen. Kershaw then moving out on that right-hand side because he knows Todd Ellis is going to pull one here. Todd Ellis goes through at the foggy S's. Has he made it stick? Yes, he has. So Todd Ellis leads Tim Reeves down into the Melbourne hairpin with Steve Kershaw being very circumspect on a wide line because I think he knows what's going to happen. And sure enough, it happens. But Tim Reeves pushing hard on Todd Ellis. He's not having any of it. Tim Reeves has come off the worst there. Ellis then holding the charge to the line ahead of Kershaw. So it's going to be Todd Ellis here. Oh, he's gone in too hot. Left the door open. Kershaw is through. The sprint to the line. This is going to be Kershaw. Reeves is pushing. There's huge contact between those two. Reeves gets second. Ellis gets third. But victory goes to Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charwood as Ellis and Clement come in with a battered sidecar wheel arch. Oh, what a fantastic last lap. And don't those boys deserve it? Kershaw and Charwood, victory in race 2. Sensational stuff. Confirmation of the top 3, that's the podium. Philp did indeed get the better of Pavarinta. Blackstock another 6 for him ahead of the Christies. Payne and Wilkes ahead of John Holden, Jason Pitt and Rupert Archer. Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charwood have had nothing but bad luck in the championship so far this year, but it all changed in race 2 here at Donington Park, did it not, Steve?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, we've had a terrible run of luck and we just kept working. We've never given up, made changes, and we got a great start, got away at the front there, and Todd come past, and I thought that's fine. You know, I know Todd's got great pace, so we just thought we'll just sit and see. You know, thought a podium after everything we've had would be great, and got towards the end and felt really good. The bike was mint, tyre was good, and I thought we got Tim and Todd up front. I know that Todd won't have a go, you know, and same with Tim. So I thought I'll just see what happens, a bit of smart riding and try and pick the pieces up. And here we are with our first World Championship win. It's amazing.
Tim Reeves, Kevin Russo, what an amazing race, led all the way through. I didn't see the drama on the last lap, but apparently there was a bit.
Yeah, it was fantastic. That's what people want, isn't it? You know, there was 3 of us, and Todd took a lunge at me and sent us wide, and then I took a lunge back at him, which sent us wide again, and then it just opened the door for Steve to get in the gap. And me and Todd didn't give in though. The last corner we still tried to attack, and we both come together, and it was just, yeah, it's good. It's what you want, isn't it?
Todd Anderson and Emmanuel Clement, another fantastic race, another podium. I was watching that on the timing screen and I could see you closing in. I knew it was going to be a last lap fight, but you didn't bank on that, did you?
No, we didn't. We got a good start, but I was a bit sheepish into the first corner with the damp and that, and I had a bit of work to do and clawed back up to the back of Tim and thought, right, I'll just sit behind him for the race, see where his strong points are, and we'll aim for something near the end. But yeah, it got a bit competitive into them last 2 corners.
There it is then. 2 points the gap at the top of the standings. Paver into 3rd ahead of Tim Reeves, who slips to 4th. Kershaw, Wiesen, Endeveld. Those guys weren't here, but we will see them later in the season, I'm sure.